Hi Libras, how are you? Happy birthday, fellow air signs. It is your month, it's your season. We're in Libra season. Let's get right into the reading. A few things to note. Jupiter is going to be moving out of your sign, out of your first house, and into your second house, which is Scorpio. Jupiter has been in your sign for the last year, right, in your first house. So there's been a lot of growth or expansion, development regarding your sense of self, how you feel about yourself. Maybe some of you have been feeling kind of like larger than life lately, or feeling really good about yourself. And so now it's sort of time for you to take that sense of that renewed sense of self, that boosted self-esteem that Jupiter has provided for you, and to sort of take it now into your second house and to really ask yourself, how do I value myself? How do I sort of possess, or how do I take ownership of myself? All of the good, the bad, and the ugly. Like, how do I really claim and possess all parts of myself, even if I don't like those parts of myself, right? Jupiter also kind of gives us a sense of being able to, not take ourselves too seriously and to poke fun at ourselves, which is very important, right? Like, yes, we can have excellent confidence and be very firm in our abilities to do certain things, but we should also have a realistic sense of what we can't do, and like have a sense of humor, right? Like, Jupiter gives us a sense of humor in those areas where we're not so well developed or not so refined, right? Sages aren't famous for being like the most refined sign. I'm a Sag rising, and there are some definitely rough around the edges parts about myself. And so taking that into your second house, and also how can you now use this renewed and boosted sense of self, sort of generate income for yourself? How can you utilize your best assets, right? How can you utilize your biggest and greatest assets that Jupiter has given you, right? That Jupiter has sort of revealed to you, and use that to sort of create or generate income for yourself. So those are some things to sort of note as we go into October. And I believe Jupiter is making that transition on October 10th. So right smack dab in the middle of your season. So in the meantime, let's just get into an intuitive reading to see what's going to come up for Libra. So what messages do we have for Libra for October 2017? Messages for Libra for October 2017. I'm feeling kind of like starry-eyed. Like, I just have this vision of feeling kind of like, I don't know, some of you are feeling a bit sort of starry-eyed and Neptunian sort of vibes. So what messages do we have for Libra for October 2017? My cards have been doing this like all day. Nothing else to... Ace of Swords. First card out, Ace of Swords. So, maybe some of you, I just really felt like some of you were writing, like starting to write a book. That was one message that came through. A renewed, some things, definitely new ideas, new things sort of occurring within your thought process, within your intellect, new ideas about how to utilize this Jupiter, how the energy that Jupiter has kind of bestowed upon you in the last year. So what other messages do we have for Libra? What else do we have? I'm usually surrounded by lots of Libras. It hasn't really been happening so much lately. When I do meet a Libra, I'm really excited. But it's usually a very temporary sort of connection that I've had lately. But usually I've been very much surrounded by Libras. The World. Okay, let's see. What other messages do we have for Libra? Sorry, the cards are... Okay, now we're getting somewhere. Now we're getting somewhere. Okay, so there is a little bit of hesitation to sort of step out and to sort of either express ourselves or to really put that renewed sense of self to work that we've just sort of worked out through the last year with that Jupiter transit. Okay, yeah. Okay, some of you are still holding on to some things. We'll get into the specifics. Now the cards are really flowing. Anything else for Libra for October 2017? And the Tower. Okay, and then the bottom, Ace of Pentacles. So yeah, definitely we have Ace of Swords, Ace of Pentacles. So I'm definitely picking up on new ideas regarding business, new ideas of how to sort of generate income, new ideas of how to acquire more material possessions, how to expand upon what we already have, right? Since Jupiter's moving into your second house. So really thinking about, you know, how can I sort of continue to how can I continue to expand or grow upon what it is that I already have, right? So these are the cards that came up for you all. And so we have Ace of Swords, the World, Nine of Wands, Four of Pentacles, the Fool, Knight of Pentacles, Seven of Swords, and the Tower. So we have the World here next. And I definitely see a lot of, you know, this to me is the completion of the cycle. And it's the completion of the cycle on a positive note, right? The World to me represents that there were lessons that we've learned and that we've become free from, right? Like this person, this angel, this character, this, you know, whatever you want to call it, is she is free from whatever might have been holding her down, right? Because she has, you know, the cycle, things have been completed, things are coming to an end. So definitely feeling that a lot of you are feeling freedom. And I think that, you know, a lot of this is coming from a renewed sense of self. Maybe there were some ideas about yourself that you were having that were, you know, difficult for you to sort of navigate and to navigate through and to sort of, you know, there might have been some concepts that you had about yourself that weren't really working out for you, and that Jupiter kind of had to come and help you feel good about yourself. You know, when we have Venus and Jupiter in the first house, which y'all had Jupiter there, you're going to feel good about yourself. You're going to have new ideas about yourself. You're going to feel free. There's this sense of freedom regarding your sense of self. But I do still sense that there is hesitation, that there is, you know, because now, you know, we don't just have Jupiter in the first house and then that's it, right? We, you know, have Jupiter in the first house, it does what it has to do, and then we have to take those lessons from it and sort of continue to move forward with that. But I definitely feel that a lot of you are sort of hesitant to move forward, or there's some parts of yourself that are still holding you back. Sorry, don't mind my knees. There are parts of you that are still sort of holding, that you feel like you're feeling reserved about, right? That there is this new sort of expansive sense of self, right? You feel larger than life. You feel really good about yourself. You feel very clear about who you are, right? But, you know, Libra, you know, the thing, and Jupiter being the ruling planet of Sagittarius, Sagittarians are known for being very authentic in themselves. You know, regardless of who they may be or what their flaws might be, Sagittarians can be very, very authentic. And Jupiter kind of carries with it that authenticity. And it can, like, Sagittarians, like, can be shamelessly messy, right? Like, there's, like, a shamelessness to, like, yeah, I'm a little bit messy and I'm okay with it. And, like, I love it and it makes me who I am, right? And so there's that aspect that Jupiter takes with it from Sagittarius. And the thing with Libra is that I'm not trying to say that y'all don't have that, but there is, especially with all air signs, there is this very kind of cool, calm, and collected, mask or projection that we sort of can, give off. I'm also an Aquarius sun. So there is this sort of there's an image, right? There is an image, right? And that can kind of come about when dealing with air signs. I mean, any sign can adhere to an image, but definitely when we're dealing with Libras, y'all are about harmonizing, sort of, everybody getting along with one another. There is this desire for things. I mean, y'all are the opposing sign of Aries, right? So taking into consideration other people's opinions, other people's points of view, other people's thoughts and wants and desires is very important to Libras. Libra is a sign where we learn how to master harmonizing. And sometimes in that process of harmonizing, the parts of ourselves that we don't want others to see can be difficult for us to express, right? When we're trying to merge energies with other people constantly. So there might be some things that have come up for you regarding, your personality, or there might be, where you might have been a little bit timid before. Now you're a bit more boisterous, right? Now you're a bit more sort of out in the open, but there still is this sort of desire to want to keep those parts at bay, to sort of save face almost. And if it's not to save face, it's just because, you haven't quite mastered, right, how to really 100% wholeheartedly be yourself without truly giving zero fucks about what other people think, feel, or say about who you are, what you're wearing, what you're doing, right? And again, I'm talking about the Libra archetype. I'm not really talking about all Libras in general, depending on what you have in your chart, but this is what's coming up for Libra. And I'm relating it to these parts of what I know Libra to be, right? So there are, there's still some old ways, right? There are still some old aspects of yourself that you feel that you have to hold on to. But they don't really work for you. These aspects of yourself don't really serve you. Let's see. I kind of want to see what some of you are holding on to. So can I get clarification for the Four of Pentacles, please? Clarification for the Four of Pentacles. Okay. So some of you holding on to an old relationship, right? We have the Queen of Cups here. So I definitely feel that some of you are there are some old emotions. There are some old things that we're not really willing to let go of right now. There's some comfort, right, in staying here. There's some comfort. And when I see this card, I really do think of somebody who is sort of very introverted. I think of somebody who is more focused on the emotional world, is more focused on the inner world. But, I really do feel that a lot of you are being called to step outside of that. There are opportunities for you to take. You have the Ace of Pentacles and we have the Ace of Swords here. There are new opportunities for you to take in the tangible real world. There are some new ideas, and it's like you have to sort of step out and take these ideas, and we can't really hold on to being in here. We can't, and I can understand. Sorry, my computer froze. But where was I? Yeah, so as I was saying, there's opportunities for you all to take. And it's a little bit scary having to put yourself out there, And now as Jupiter is moving into your second house, there is this sort of shift of focus, right, from the self from the relationship to the self, right? Like the internal happenings that you feel. Like, what do you feel towards yourself, right? How do you feel about yourself? And Jupiter, having given you this renewed sense of self, now wants you to take it out and sort of use it to your advantage. Use this feel-good sense of self to your advantage, right? Be the fool. Take a leap of faith. So I do see some of you actually, taking this leap of faith. I want to get more clarification of what's going on here with the Fool. Can I get clarification for the Fool, please? Can I get clarification? Okay. So we have the Devil card here. So we have the Fool being clarified by the Devil. The Devil, for me, in this context, and what's the messages that are coming through for me are sort of your destiny, because the Devil, it doesn't, right? This Devil is, these two figures are kind of in bondage to one another. They're chained to one another. And while, yes, we can look at this card as, definitely being one that speaks of addictions, one that speaks of, bad habits, karmic relationships, really negative patterns. I also read the Devil card as a card that speaks about destiny, our destiny, the destiny that we, there are some things in life that, we definitely have control over, right? And then there are some things in life that just feel inevitable. Like it had to happen that way, or it was supposed to happen in this, through this avenue, because it then opened up these other doors for me, right? So the Devil card to me also speaks of destiny, and also representing Saturn, Saturn and Capricorn, stepping into what we know can be difficult territory, stepping into what will be a challenging path, but taking it with faith, taking it with belief that all will be okay, taking a leap of faith. You've got to take a leap of faith. And that's also what Jupiter in Sagittarius is very much about, is going and taking leaps of faith and taking risks and hoping for the best, right? Just hoping for the best. And even though this new challenge before you may look difficult, right? Like this card is not very easy on the eyes, right? It's difficult, but nonetheless, it might be necessary to your growth. That, sometimes we have to go through, karmic relationships or difficult times in our lives because we have to learn the lessons to evolve spiritually, and to evolve in this lifetime. So I'm definitely sensing that a lot of you are going to be taking a leap of faith into a very difficult opportunity, or, an opportunity that has continued to present itself over and over and over again, as if to say, I'm not going away, like, this is destiny sort of knocking on your door, and you continue to sort of, hide out from me, right? And now we have the Seven of Swords underneath this Nine of Wands. So, there is something that I feel like a lot of you are trying to run from, but you're only cheating yourself, right? And the Seven of Swords is essentially sort of running from this Tower card. And again, just like the Devil, the Tower is inevitable. The Tower is once again one of those situations where, there are things and changes that we can kind of foresee in our lives, and we can do our best to mitigate or to kind of buffer the impact. But when the Tower comes up, we're talking about a change or an occurrence that really is very much out of our control. It's a transformation. There's transformation that is occurring here, and we have here this Knight of Pentacles. Sorry, I'm jumping back and forth, but that's kind of, I go wherever the cards need me to go. So we have this Knight of Pentacles here, right? And I just feel like there is, once again, there is an opportunity. There's somebody literally handing you a steady, stable, if this were a Knight of Swords or a Knight of Wands, I'd be like, yeah, like, just sort of wait it out, see what that person does. But this Knight of Pentacles is an incredibly reliable and dependable, individual, and very slow moving. So they don't make moves unless they know exactly what it is that they're trying to do, or unless they are very clear about what their plans are. And so I want to get clarification on the Knight of Pentacles. Can I get clarification on the Knight of Pentacles? Because I also just feel like it's just there. You know what I mean? So can I get clarification for this Knight of Pentacles, please? Clarification for the Knight of Pentacles. Okay, King of Pentacles. So yeah, this is definitely a person, in my opinion, or you know, as regarding in my intuition, somebody incredibly reliable and dependable. And I do feel like this is definitely a work situation, a work opportunity, a career opportunity that is being presented to you. And I feel like this person might be a Capricorn, right? Could be a Capricorn, right? Having a leap of faith and dealing with a Capricorn, a Taurus or a Virgo. And this person, I think you're underestimating this person, because whenever I see a court, like a knight, right? A knight or a page, and to clarify it, if a king or a queen comes out, to me, to clarify this card for you all, for whoever I'm reading for, what that usually tells me is that this person, you are underestimating this person. Like there's hidden superpowers. There's, you know, this person's actually a king. You're reading them as a knight. They're coming up as a knight for you and your psyche and your subconscious, right? But they're actually a king. They're actually a lot more evolved and focused than you think that they are. And I do feel that like not taking whatever opportunity they have to offer may actually end up perpetuating the energy of this tower. That you might end up, it'll be a lot more difficult here, right? Let's get some more clarification. Can I get more clarification on the Knight of Pentacles? Can I get more clarification for the Knight of Pentacles? Okay. Yeah, and I feel like what they have to offer you isn't going to be you're going to have to work. Like there's an opportunity being presented to you, and you don't know how it's going to turn out. You don't know, you know. And look at all these pentacles. First of all, right? There's lots of pentacles, and and now that I'm reading this, I do feel that a lot of you are being offered a work or a career opportunity, and you're holding on to whatever it is that you currently have. And Jupiter being in your second house is an earth house. It's the house of Taurus. It's about our material possessions, how I can generate income for myself, what assets I can use for myself to generate income. It is about my possessions, my material possessions, my income, things of that nature. So there a lot of you are holding on to, there's this job and they're offering me more money and they're offering me this and that, and it would be a great opportunity, but it would be a lot of work, and I would kind of have to step outside of, the inner sort of cocoon, the inner world, the comfort of my inner world, right? Even though Jupiter has just kind of made me feel larger than life, I'm really not sure, right? I'm really not sure, like, if this new renewed sense of self can, like, sustain the harshness of the outside world, right? Like, that Libras are like, I feel good, but I don't want to leave. Like, I don't want to fuck up or, like, mess with this feel good right now, right? And that stepping in or letting go of or changing or taking a risk could potentially sort of disturb that. And there's this desire to kind of not want to go there, you know, and I get it, y'all, I get it, right? Once you kind of get into a groove of things, and then something comes along, right? A change comes along or an opportunity, destiny comes knocking, and it's like, okay, you've mastered that. You've mastered it. You have the world here. You've mastered it. You've mastered that. Okay, let go. Like, you've learned how to do that properly enough. Like, let go so I can give you something else to, like, grow and develop, right? And Libra is all like, but this looks so beautiful. This feels so beautiful. And we all know Libra is about things that look and feel and are beautiful, right? Like, what looks and feels and is beautiful to me. Fuck what doesn't feel beautiful, you know? But eventually this won't feel beautiful anymore. This won't, right? So there is an opportunity, but I do feel that a lot of you are like, yeah, I'm okay with where I'm at financially right now. I'm okay with it. It's fulfilling me emotionally. I'm good, right? And some of you are also faced with an opportunity with I do feel an earth sign, a Capricorn, Taurus, or Virgo. There is an opportunity here that has continued to present itself to you over and over and over again. And like I said before, when I see a knight clarified by a king or a queen, I feel like it's, you know, somebody who, you know, is kind of like being slept on a bit. Like, don't sleep on this knight, right? This knight's actually a king. And this person has an opportunity to offer you, and you're going to work. You're going to work. Yeah, you're going to work. It's going to be hard. You're going to have to take all these pentacles, right? These pentacles that you're holding on to and sort of reinvest them and sort of put them back out into the universe. Might have to lose some to gain some, you know? And I just heard that Lauryn Hill song in my head, you know, Lost One. You might win some, but you just lost one, right? So if you might have to lose a few of these pentacles, right? You might lose that one or that one, but in the long run, this king has a lot to offer you, and this opportunity does yield, right? Does yield some positive results for you all. But yeah, I do want to get clarification for the Tower. Can we clarify the Tower for Libra? Okay, Six of Pentacles, and I want to clarify the Seven of Swords. Can I get clarification for the Seven of Swords, please? Okay. So, you know, again, I'm seeing a relationship here. Not an actual relationship, but for me, the Six of Cups, you know, it's times of nostalgia, times when things were easy, right? These are children, right? And yes, it can relate to past relationships. So this can also be a situation where you're faced with a new relationship with an earth sign. And you're just going to have to take a leap of faith and invest your time and energy and hope for the best. But I mean, this person's a king, so I wouldn't worry too much about it. And it's a person that's kind of keeps coming around, back around again and again and again. But I do see, for those of you who, you know, are watching this and are really asking, you know, who are, you know, wondering about a relationship, you have to let go of the past. I feel that a lot of you are running towards the past. I feel that a lot of you think that, and Libra being an air sign can get caught up in the mind. And the mind is where our memories live, right? It's where the past lives. So as long as you're constantly here in this state, sort of thinking about what was, you're never going to be able to move on to anything bigger or better, right? And this Tower was clarified by the Six of Pentacles. So, karma is trying to balance itself out with you all. Karma is trying, allow the balancing act to happen. Karma is trying to sort of give you, sometimes the universe has an interesting way of giving us what it is that we are owed, or showing us, or kind of balancing out our karmas, right, with other people. And it can feel very uncomfortable, and it can feel like you're losing things, or you're losing comfort, right? You're losing some kind of comfort or security. But what the universe has to really offer you, like this and this are two different things, right? Like this person is holding on to a lot of stuff. And I think Leo got this for September. This combination, this 4 and the 6 of Pentacles, which are very different, right? So as long as you're still here, you can't allow the universe in to kind of do what it has to do, and then it has to force its way in. And this is what happens when the universe has to force its way in, And it's doing that because it's been trying to create this for you, but you haven't been letting it come in. You've kind of have been stuck, sort of pondering and meandering back and forth between now and the past, right? Or the future and the past, and wondering, what's going on with this person, or what's going on in this past situation. But the universe is trying to bring in some cool things for you. But there's a balancing act that needs to happen, that needs to occur. So can I get an outcome card for Libra for October? And the sun's going to be in Libra. Sun's going to be in Libra. Libra's the scales. Y'all are the scales. Y'all are the balancing act. Y'all are the harmonizers. So allow that energy. That sun is going to be focused on how can we harmonize? How can we, merge the energies of my life purpose and your life purpose, or, whatever the sun may represent to you. But allow that to kind of happen. Okay. Queen of Swords. Nice air energy. Really nice air energy. So I do see a lot of you all taking the sword, right? And actually really utilizing it. I do see you all actually saying, all right, I have this sword. Let me do what I got to do with it. And the Queen of Swords actually, I feel like, is a great fit for Libra, because Libra, definitely has the communication abilities and the charm of an air sign, and does so in a way that is very diplomatic. The Queen of Swords, she is, she can be cutthroat. She will tell you like it is, but she'll do so in a way that still can be loving, and still can be, the King of Swords is very harsh, right? The Queen of Swords, not so much. So I feel that like Libra's kind of, as an air sign, we're dealt a great hand, in the sense that y'all have the ability to communicate very effectively, and to do so in a way that people are sort of charmed by, and people really respect and are drawn to. So I do see a lot of you taking that ace of swords and utilizing it. I also do see this as possibly an Aquarius, Libra, or a Gemini, another air sign, a woman coming in to assist you in whatever this work situation is. But nonetheless, I think y'all have some good things coming up. It's your season, so enjoy it, Libras. Enjoy it. And that is your reading for October. And if you'd like to... Sorry, Libras, computer froze again. Just wanted to say bye. And if you want a personal reading with me, you can email me at tattoosandtarot@gmail.com, or go to my website, which is tattoosandtarot.com. And until then, I will see you all in November. All right, bye, Libras.